Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I am Subha Kaul with the midday news. The headlines. Army foils infiltration bid along international border at Akhnoor in Jammu and Kashmir. NIA begins investigations into terror attack in Poonch. New Delhi strongly condemns defacing of SMVS Shri Swaminarayan Mandir with anti-India graffiti at Newark, California. BJP National office bearers resume second-day meeting in New Delhi to take stock of preparedness for upcoming Lok Sabha elections. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says humanitarian ceasefire is the only way to meet desperate needs of people in Gaza. In women's Test cricket, Australia resumed their second innings play after trailing by 187 runs in first inning against India at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. In Jammu and Kashmir, the army foiled an infiltration bid along the international border in the core subsector of Akhnoor late last night. A defense spokesperson told Akashvani News that the suspected movement of 4 terrorists was noticed through surveillance devices on the intervening night of Friday and Saturday. When challenged, they tried to escape back, following which fire was opened. The terrorists were seen running back across the IB and dragging one body with them. Meanwhile, search operations continue in Poonch district, where 4 army personnel lost their lives in a terror attack on Thursday. Additional troops have been inducted into the area to track down the terrorists involved in the firing. In a related development, the National Investigation Agency has begun an investigation into the terrorist attack in Poonch. Mobile internet services have been suspended in the twin border districts of Poonch and Rajouri from the wee hours today as security forces continued their massive search operation to track down terrorists behind the recent ambush on 2 army vehicles that led to 4 soldiers sacrificing their lives. The suspension of the mobile internet services followed the mysterious death of 3 persons near the site of an ambush. Official sources said mobile internet services were suspended as a precautionary measure to check rumor mongering and prevent miscreants from creating any law and order problems. India today strongly condemned the incident of defacing SMVS Shri Swaminarayan Mandir at Newark, California, with anti-India graffiti. In a social media post, the Consulate General of India in San Francisco said this incident has hurt the sentiments of the Indian community. It said the Consulate General has pressed for quick investigation and prompt action against the vandals by the US authorities in this matter. The Hindu-American Foundation shared pictures of anti-India graffiti on the exterior walls of the Hindu temple on social media. The images showed hateful slogans against India on the walls of the temple. Khalistani terrorist Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale's name was also written with black ink. According to the temple administration, the incident took place on Thursday night when one of the devotees who lives close to the shrine discovered the anti-India graffiti. Minister of External Affairs Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar has said that Atmanirbhar Bharat is itself an expression of national security. He was addressing the 3rd convocation ceremony of Rashtriya Raksha University in Gandhinagar, Gujarat today.
Atmanirbhar Bharat is itself an expression of national security because it mitigates others exploiting our vulnerabilities. This has taken different forms in different domains, but most notably that of Make in India. The fact is that the talent and the ability for that has not only existed, but in fact has been steadily growing. What was required was the leadership, the vision, and the commitment to bring it together and make it a truly national endeavor.
The meeting of the national office bearers of the BJP has commenced on the second day at the party headquarters in New Delhi today. It is being chaired by BJP President JP Nadda to take stock of its preparedness for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections and chalk out strategies for upcoming programs of the party. The meeting is being attended by state chiefs, general secretaries, in charges and other office bearers of the BJP. Yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the meeting in the presence of Mr. Nadda and other senior leaders. The 2-day meeting is also aimed to review the party's performance in the recently held assembly polls. BJP's organizational issues as well as the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra program will also be reviewed on the occasion. In a social media post, the Prime Minister said that they had a fruitful interaction on ways to deepen BJP's connection with the people and elaborate on the party's agenda of development. Congress MP Karti Chidambaram today appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in New Delhi in connection with an alleged money laundering case linked to irregularities in the issuance of visas to around 263 Chinese nationals in 2011. He was summoned twice by the central agency to appear before it in the case being probed under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Earlier, however, he had skipped the summons, calling the probe a fishing and rowing inquiry. The 2022 case alleges that 50 lakh rupees were paid as kickbacks to Karti and his close associate S. Bhaskara Raman by a top executive of Vedanta Group company Talwandi Sabo Power Limited, which was setting up a power plant in Punjab. The Enforcement Directorate has also issued fresh summons to Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejashwi Yadav in a Land for Jobs money laundering case and has asked him to appear on the 5th of next month. Mr. Yadav was earlier called to appear on the 22nd of this month, but he skipped the summons, calling it a routine affair. Earlier, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was summoned again by the Enforcement Directorate for further questioning related to the Delhi excise policy matter. Sources said the agency has asked him to appear on the 3rd of next month. This is the third summon after Mr. Kejriwal skipped the first two summons. Delhi Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena has recommended a Central Bureau of Investigation probe over the non-standard drugs being supplied to government hospitals in the national capital. In a note to the Chief Secretary, Mr. Saxena said it was concerning that these medicines tested in private and government laboratories turned out to be not of standard quality. He said these medicines were being given to lakhs of patients across government hospitals in Delhi and were possibly being supplied to the Mohalla clinics. The Coal Ministry has said the domestic coal-based power generation has increased by over 8% to almost 780 billion units during the April to November period this year. This is an increase from the 718 billion units generated in the corresponding period last year. It said that it will persist in its efforts to further enhance coal production, aiming to increase availability and reduce dependence on imported coal. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has stressed the need for a humanitarian ceasefire in the Gaza Strip after the UN Security Council adopted a resolution to boost humanitarian aid to the enclave. He told reporters that a humanitarian ceasefire is the only way to begin to meet the desperate needs of people in Gaza. Mr. Guterres added that Friday's Security Council resolution may help this finally to happen, but much more is needed immediately.
A humanitarian ceasefire is the only way to begin to meet the desperate needs of people in Gaza and end their ongoing nightmare. I hope that the Security Council resolution may help that finally to happen, but much more is needed immediately.
In a social media post, Mr. Guterres said that as many as 136 UN workers have lost their lives in the last 75 days in the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas. Several employees of the world body have been forced out of their homes. No one has ever seen such number of casualties of the UN staff in the history of the World Organization, he added. In Ukraine, 3 Russian fighter jets were shot down in southern part of the country. The Ukrainian Air Force claimed that 3 Su-34 fighter bombers were shot down over the war-torn Kherson region. In his address, President Volodymyr Zelensky thanked the Odessa region anti-aircraft unit who had downed the planes. Moscow has not responded to the claims. Mr. Zelensky also said that he had spoken to Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte about the future delivery of F-16 jets as well as a new EU support package. Japan's defense spending will increase more than 16% next year under a record military budget. The budget adopted by the cabinet yesterday will further fortify the military with F-35 stealth combat jets and other American weapons. The $56 billion defense budget for the 2024 fiscal year that begins in March marks the second year of a 5-year military build-up program. This is a new security strategy under Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's government adopted a year ago. The defense budget is part of a $794 billion national budget plan that needs approval by the parliament. In Tamil Nadu, the Viksit Bharat Yatra is being held in 12,500 villages and 1,455 locations in the state. The officials of the central government, public sector undertakings and leading banks are a part of the Yatra in both rural and urban areas. A total of 111 vans are being engaged in the Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra in Tamil Nadu. Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Anurag Singh Thakur, flagged off the Sankalp Yatra on the 22nd of this month from AM Jan College, Meenambakam. Our Chennai correspondent Joy has the details.
The Yatra has been received well by people living in both rural and urban areas. Many who participated in the Yatra were given awareness on the various schemes and their queries were answered. They also wanted to join in the subsidy schemes of the government. Health checkup and distribution of calendars for 2024 brought special attention to the Yatra. The beneficiaries expressed delight to participate in the Yatra. I am Mani Vasagam from Andalpuram, Namakkal district. The government is highlighting the importance of using drones to spray fertilizers and protect the plants. They also demonstrated on how to use the drones for agriculture. We also came to know about the various schemes of the government which will benefit agriculture in the country.
I am Manivasagam from Andalpuram, Namakkal district. The government is highlighting the importance of using drones to spray fertilizers and protect the plants. They also demonstrated how to use the drones for agriculture. We also came to know about the various schemes of the government which will benefit agriculture in the country.
I am Deepa from Pundi Panchayat, Velur district. The journey towards developed India is amazing. The government is highlighting the importance of millets and giving awareness to protect the health of the people.
In Tamil Nadu, the fifth train from Chennai to Varanasi as a part of the Kashi Tamil Sangamam began its journey from Chennai Central today. The Sangamam events are to be strengthened the ancient bond between Tamil Nadu and Kashi. This year, 7 trains will carry passengers from the state. In this train, 216 passengers are travelling, which includes representatives of the farming community, arts and culture. The Tamil Nadu government has announced a relief of an amount of 8 crore 68 lakh rupees as relief for those affected by the oil leak at Akhnoor Creek during Cyclone Michong. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said that a relief of 12,500 rupees will be given to each of the 2,301 families residing at the fishing villages which were severely affected due to the oil leak. Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Singh Thakur has sought the support of all the people to make the country a sporting super Bharat by 2047. He was speaking after facilitating the champion athletes at Sports Authority of India in Bengaluru today. Emphasizing the success of Khelo India, he attributed it to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision. In women's cricket, Australia were 156 for the loss of 3 wickets in their second innings against India on day 3 of the one-off test match at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai a short while ago. Australia is trailing by 31 runs. Earlier, India were all out for 406 runs with a lead of 187 runs in their first innings this morning. For India, Deepti Sharma was the highest run getter with 78 runs, followed by Smriti Mandhana 74, Jemima Rodrigues 76 and Richa Ghosh 52. For Australia, Ashley Gardner was the highest wicket taker with 4 wickets. In their first innings, Australia made 219 runs after getting all out. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Army foils infiltration bid along international border at Akhnoor in Jammu and Kashmir. NIA begins investigation into terror attack in Poonch. New Delhi strongly condemns defacing of SMVS Shri Swaminarayan Mandir with anti-India graffiti at Newark, California. BJP National Office bearers resume second-day meeting in New Delhi to take stock of preparedness for upcoming Lok Sabha elections. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says humanitarian ceasefire is the only way to meet desperate needs of people in Gaza. And in women's Test cricket, Australia resumes their second innings play after trailing by 187 runs in first inning against India at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And with that, we end the midday news.